I block my soon-to-be ex-stepmother, but she follows me after school and demands we have a talk. So my phone buzzed in my pocket, and I knew it was her again, Claire, the woman who thought she could replace my mom just because she wore Dad's ring. I blocked her number last night after her 10th text begging me to talk like adults. But adults don't lie about who they are, do they? I was 16, not stupid, and the truth I'd uncovered about her was a knife twisting in my gut. I quickened my pace down the cracked sidewalk outside Lincoln High, the autumn rain slicking my sneakers as I tried to outrun the dread creeping up my spine. School had let out 20 minutes ago, and the other kids were already gone, their laughter fading into the gray drizzle. I thought I was alone until I heard her voice, sharp and desperate, slicing through the patter of rain. "Mia, stop. We need to talk." I froze, my heart hammering. Claire was here, standing under a dripping oak tree, her blonde hair plastered to her face, her eyes wild with something I couldn't name guilt. Maybe, or fear. I turned to run, but her footsteps splashed closer, and I knew this was the moment I'd either face her or keep running forever. I spun around, my backpack swinging heavy against my shoulder. "What do you want? Claire!" My voice came out sharper than I meant, but I didn't care. She stopped a few feet away, her designer coat soaked through, looking less like the polished woman who'd moved into our house 2 years ago, and more like someone unraveling. "Mia, please," she said, her voice cracking. "You can't just cut me out like this. I'm trying to explain." Explain the word made my blood boil. I'd found the emails on Dad's laptop last week pure accident, or maybe fate. Claire wasn't just some interior designer who charmed Dad after Mom died. She'd been married before, twice, and left a trail of broken families, unpaid debts, and fake names. My dad, grieving and lonely, was just her latest mark. I clutched my phone, tempted to call Dad right then, but he was at work, probably still clueless about who he'd let into our lives. "I don't owe you anything," I said, stepping back. The rain stung my face, mixing with the tears I refused to let her see. Claire reached out, her hand trembling, but I jerked away. "Mia, you don't understand. I love your father. I love you." Her words hit like a slap. Love. She didn't know the first thing about it. Mom had known she'd bake me cookies after bad days, sat through my awful piano recitals, and held me when I cried over stupid middle school drama. Claire just brought her fake smiles and her expensive candles, trying to erase Mom's memory from our house. "You don't get to say that," I snapped. "You lied about who you are. You think I'm just going to sit down and have a heart-to-heart with a con artist?" Her face crumpled, and for a second, I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. She took a shaky breath, wiping rain from her eyes. I was going to tell him, "Mia, I swear, I just needed time. My past, it's complicated." Complicated. That was the understatement of the century. I'd spent hours digging online after finding those emails. Claire's real name was Clara Mitchell, not Claire Evans, and she'd left a string of ex-husbands across 3 states, each one poorer and more heartbroken than the last. There were even rumors of a kid she'd abandoned, though I couldn't confirm it. The thought made my stomach churn. Was that what she'd do to us? "To me, time's up," I said, my voice low. "Dad deserves to know, and I'm telling him tonight." Her eyes widened, panic flashing across her face. "Mia, no. You can't. It'll destroy him." I laughed, bitter and cold. "You already did that." I turned to walk away, my sneakers squelching in a puddle, but Claire grabbed my arm. Her grip was firm, desperate, and I hated how it made my resolve waver. "Let go," I said through gritted teeth. She didn't. Instead, she pulled me closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "There's more you don't know. Mia, things I've protected you from. If you tell him, it won't just hurt your dad, it'll hurt you too." Her words sent a chill down my spine, colder than the rain. What was she talking about? Was this another lie? Or was there something worse hiding in her past? I yanked my arm free, my heart racing. You're full of it, I said, but my voice shook. She looked at me, her eyes pleading, and for the first time, I saw something raw in her, something real. It scared me more than her lies. I took off running, my backpack bouncing, my breath ragged. The street blurred past, houses and trees melting into the rain. I didn't know where I was going, just away. Away from her, from the truth, from the mess our family had become. Mom died 3 years ago, a car accident that left a hole in my world. Dad tried to fill it with Claire, thinking she'd bring light back into our lives, but all she brought was chaos. I slowed down near the park, my chest heaving, and sank onto a bench under a sagging awning. My phone buzzed again. Dad this time. Home soon, kiddo. Love you. I stared at the screen, my thumb hovering over the reply button. How could I tell him? How could I break his heart all over again? Claire's words echoed in my head. It'll hurt you too. What did she mean? I pulled out my phone and opened the browser, my fingers trembling as I typed her real name again. Clara Mitchell. More results popped up: a blog post, a court document, a grainy photo of a younger Claire with a little girl who looked eerily like me. My breath caught. Was that her kid? Was that what she was hiding? I scrolled, my heart pounding, until I found a name: Emily Mitchell, age 6, reported missing 10 years ago. The article said Clara had lost custody after a messy divorce, and Emily had vanished from foster care. No trace since. My mind reeled. Was Claire trying to replace her lost daughter with me? Or was there something darker going on? I didn't hear her approach until she spoke. Mia, I'm not who you think I am. I jumped, nearly dropping my phone. Claire stood a few feet away, soaked and shivering, her face pale. She looked broken, like the rain had washed away her mask. Then who are you? I demanded, standing up. Because I know you're not Claire Evans. I know about your ex-husbands, your debts, your kid. Her eyes widened, and she staggered back like I'd hit her. You don't know the half of it, she whispered. I didn't abandon Emily. She was taken from me. I've spent years trying to find her. Her voice broke, and tears mixed with the rain on her cheeks. I wanted to believe she was lying, but the pain in her eyes was too real. It clawed at me, making me doubt everything. Why should I believe you? I asked, my voice softer now. She stepped closer, her hands clasped like she was praying. Because I'm telling you the truth now. I came into your dad's life by accident. Mia, I wasn't looking for another Mark. I was running from my past, from the mistakes I made. But I fell in love with him. And with you. I shook my head, backing away. You don't get to say that. You don't get to act like you're my mom. Her face twisted, and she sank onto the bench, burying her head in her hands. I'm not trying to replace her, she said, her voice muffled. I just wanted a family again. I thought I could start over. I stood there, rain dripping down my neck, torn between anger and something softer: pity. Maybe Claire wasn't innocent, but she wasn't a monster either. She was a mess, just like me, just like Dad. I thought about Mom, how she'd always told me to give people a chance to explain themselves. But this wasn't a scraped knee or a bad grade. This was our family, our trust. If you love us, I said slowly, why didn't you tell Dad the truth from the start? She looked up, her eyes red. Because I was scared he'd leave me, and I couldn't lose you both. Her honesty hit me hard, like a punch I didn't see coming. For the first time, I saw her not as the enemy, but as someone drowning in her own regrets. I sat down on the bench, keeping my distance. What do you want from me? Claire? She wiped her face, her hands shaking. I want you to give me a chance to make this right. Let me tell your dad myself. Let me explain everything: my past, Emily, all of it. If he wants me gone, I'll go. But don't shut me out. Mia, please. Her voice was raw, pleading, and it stirred something in me. I thought about Dad, how he'd smiled more since Claire came into our lives, how he'd started humming again like he used to when Mom was alive. Could I take that away from him? Could I trust Claire to fix this? The rain slowed to a drizzle, and the park was quiet except for our breathing. I looked at her, really looked at her, and saw a woman who'd lost everything and was clinging to the scraps of a life she didn't deserve. But maybe she could earn it. Maybe we all could. One chance, I said finally. You tell Dad everything tonight. No more lies. If you don't, I will. She nodded, tears spilling again. Thank you. Mia. I didn't reply. I stood up, my legs shaky, and started walking home. Claire followed a few steps behind, silent but present. I didn't know if I was making the right choice, but I knew I couldn't keep running. That night, I sat in my room, listening to the muffled voices downstairs as Claire told Dad the truth. I heard him shout, then go quiet, then cry. I wanted to go to him, but I stayed put, my heart heavy. Life wasn't like Mom's old romance novels, where everything tied up neatly. It was messy, painful, and full of choices that hurt no matter what you picked. I didn't know if Dad would forgive Claire, or if I could, but I knew we'd all have to face the truth together, whatever came next. What do you think, was Mia right to give Claire a chance? Or should she have told her dad herself? Share your thoughts on what's right and wrong in this tangled web of trust and secrets. In Aeson.